Call the meeting to order.
Jenkins.
Here.
Harden.
Here.
Hahn.
Here.
McKinley.
Yes.
Earl.
Here.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Under proclamations, presentations, and recognitions, I would like to read the following press release. The City of Farmer City and the DeWitt County Development Corporation have announced that a new business will be coming to Farmer City within the next few months. The city and DCDC have been seeking a potential tenant for the 219 South Main Street building. That building has been vacant for some 5+ years. DCDC has brought numerous leads to Farmer City in hopes of a pharmacy becoming a reality. The city took ownership of the building in 2012 after a lengthy court case. The city is in the final steps of negotiations with the potential owners, whom state that they hope to move quickly as a major renovation will take place to the building. Donna Matera, RPH of Chatham, told that she is very excited about coming to Farmer City and the opening of a new business. The pharmacy will be a full-service business and will sell generic over-the-counter drugs as well. The potential owner plans on having a soda fountain and has purchased some of that equipment in anticipation of the new business. As an additional service for those that are unable to come inside, Matera stated, just pull up front and honk. We'll bring the order out to you. That brings us to public comments on agenda items. And we have one, Brenda Duggins.
Thank you. I'm nervous, so bear with me. My name is Brenda Duggins, and I've been a citizen of Farmer City for the past 20 years. I'm here tonight to talk about our city-owned parks. I want to first say that I appreciate every single organization in this town that helps our parks out. It's wonderful. The Kiwanis, the Garden Club, the school district, the Farmer City Baseball Corporation. Over the past 10 years, our family has been involved in Farmer City baseball. Over those several years, I spent a lot of time at Weedman Park and South Park. I've seen a lot. I have waited patiently for the water to come to South Park. It's my understanding that there is water now on the south side of Salt Creek. This has taken many years, and now what? What's next? What are your plans now that the water is there? When are your plans going to take place? It seems that this is a forgotten park by our city leaders. Every year there is hope for a better park, and nothing ever seems to come down there. There's a pavilion that has a roof that is severely decaying. There's only a place for porta potties in one place, a very far walk for some, and certainly a challenge for any elderly or handicapped person. I've witnessed elderly and handicapped people down at that park ball games. It's pitiful that they have to go there. There's not even a handicapped porta potty. There's very little done with the aesthetics of the park. There's overgrown weeds everywhere. The parking lot's full of weeds. They don't get mowed, they don't get trimmed, they don't get sprayed. There's always a trash problem. The parking's poor. Most of the time the road's full of potholes. I think you get my ideas. That park is a diamond in the rough. It's beautiful down there. You sit down there of an evening and you watch the deer and you watch the birds, and it's very tranquil, and it's a beautiful place to be. It seems that every year I have to make a call to City Hall to inquire about the porta potties, the trash. Why is there not a better checklist in every early spring to get the act together and make this a nice place to be and visit? Why do I have to call the city for trash and porta potties? I feel that the city depends too much on their civil organizations to take care of their parks and properties. My husband spent about 3 hours down there on Saturday trimming the weeds just to get ready for opening day. These were not weeds on the ball field. He takes pride in it, and he does countless hours to help improvement. He asks nothing in return for it. We miss Dwayne and Kent and their mowing. They did a great job, and we were very easy to deal with and talk with, and we loved their work. Now that we have the new playground equipment coming, thanks to the Kiwanis Club and their donations, I can't understand how the city came up with their donation for this equipment when there is so much need for many other things. I feel that you really got the cart before the horse. We need water, we need toilets, we need a place to wash our hands. If you had a picnic down there, you'd be in a world of hurt. If you want to have a reunion or a family gathering there, the picnic tables are in pitiful condition. The concrete under the pavilion is filthy, never been hosed off or pruned off, mostly from that bad roof. Up at Weedman Park, there's a beautiful pavilion and bathroom facility. I think it would be great if it was utilized more. I think it needs to be open more. I've heard that we have juveniles hanging out there. They have left needles, beer cans, and most recently vomit all over the concrete. We have found even human excrement in the dugout opening day. Not this year, but before. That was quite a surprise. The trash is always an issue up there. When I have inquired before, for several years in a row, about every year, about this time, I've been told that the club or the organization, it's their duty to dump their trash in the dumpster and dump everything in their cans into the dumpster. I think that's a ridiculous way to run a city park. The cans are too heavy. The dumpster is oftentimes full, especially after the pool opens. Thanks to Wally Miller, he's helped us out numerous times. In the morning, you'll see him dumping those cans on his own time. I hear he's going to retire. I wonder what's going to happen next. Couldn't there be a better way? There's no wheelchair accessible bathroom, ramp to the accessible bathroom. There's a very poor covering of mulch several years ago that went between the ball field and the building. There were very tall weeds everywhere that the big mowers wouldn't go. I don't know about you, but at our residence, we trim our weeds. We don't go around and we don't leave it all there. I've been to lots of other towns and parks, and they seem to have figured out how to keep up better with the presentation of their parks, how to keep their restrooms open, how to keep the delinquents out, and how to get the visitors in there enjoying their parks. I didn't want to come up here and be an nagger or complainer, so I come with hopefully an idea, because why come with just complaints? My idea is I would suggest that you start thinking outside the box. And I think a great way to solve some problems and improve the parks would be a park board. The board could consist of a couple members from each of the organizations that you depend on so heavily. They would have the input and the know-how, and then they would know what each other organization's agenda was and what was important to them and where they stood on things. I would suggest the garden club, the soccer club, Blue Ridge Schools, Farm City Baseball, a couple of citizens. I would love to have a council member on that board. I'd also love to see a city employee oversee the parks, have it be their baby. That, you know, hey, just say Wally Miller, that's his job. He takes pride in that. Go to Wally, he'll help you. I think it'd be great to have one employee that's his job. And other things, of course. I think our parks would flourish with care and attendance. It would enable us to improve the parks. We all get on the same table, know what's important. We need to know the budget, what tax dollars can go to our parks. I don't mean this in any way for the city to continue to rely solely on the organizations that take care of their property. I feel the opposite. I think it's time for the city to have some concrete plans in place to care and upkeep our parks. I've heard through the grapevines that there's no money for parks or manpower. I disagree. I feel that since you chose to purchase South Park, there should have been a plan of action of care and improvements. Since it hadn't been touched for several years while the land swap was being negotiated. I've also heard that we can't make changes because criminals would ruin things. That's a problem for another department and another discussion. Police should be a presence at the parks, and no one should feel that they can get away with anything while they're there. Remember that when little children, adults, elderly, and handicapped need to use these facilities, it sure is no fun for anybody to get in their car and go to the gas station and hope that the little boy makes it. I encourage you to look around at other cities and their parks and learn by their examples. As I said earlier, South Park is a beautiful place. It's a wonderful place to spend time. It is in need of attention. I also want to throw one more thing out there. I think it would be great if it wasn't called South Park. I think renaming it after maybe one of our clubs, organization, the person that's cared for it all these years. Why call it South Park? That's just a place. It's just down the road. Maybe Kiwanis Park. They seem to be doing the most work down there these days. So thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank
Sorry
you.
it was so long.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. This moves us to section 1, consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll second it.
Call it?
Jenkins,
Yes.
Harden,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
McKinley,
Yes.
Pearl,
Yes.
motion carried.
There being no unfinished business, we move to section 3, new business.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2014-16, $500 donation to Farmer City Antiques Group.
Second. Discussion?
What do we do every year? Did we do this last year?
Yes. Do this on an annual basis, that's correct.
Call
Harden,
it? Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
McKinley,
Yes.
Pearl,
Yes.
Jenkins,
Yes.
motion carried.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2014-17, $2,000 donation to the Farmer City Raceway.
I'll second it. Discussion?
What did we do last year?
It was-
Same amount?
I said 1,500 2 years and making it 2,000 last
This is fireworks. and-
Yes, it is, it'd be for fireworks. And they will have the open gate like they have before, so, for local citizens.
Any other discussion? Call
Vaughn,
Yes.
McKinley,
Yes.
Pearl,
Yes.
Jenkins,
it? Yes.
Harden,
Yes.
motion carried.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2014-18, $13,000 donation to the DeWitt County Development Corporation.
I'll second it. Discussion?
This is just a one-year commitment, correct?
Yes.
That's what we've been doing for the last 4 years or so.
No, well, yeah, $13,000 is what we've been doing for the last 4 years, but previous years, there was not a one-year commitment. I mean, there was, I think we started off with a 3-year commitment. So I think this is the second year of a one-year commitment, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
With the press release that you read earlier, definitely seen them doing work in town.
Any questions? DCDC is here. Call it?
McKinley,
No.
Pearl,
Yes.
Jenkins,
Yes.
Harden,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
motion carried.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2014-19, appointing library boards members.
I'll second it. Discussion.
I think you received an official letter on this, didn't you, Mayor?
An official letter, I don't recall seeing that.
Weren't you notified of the openings?
Yes, I have it. Call it?
Pearl,
Yes.
Jenkins,
Yes.
Harden,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
McKinley,
Yes.
motion carried.
Make a motion to go into executive session, personnel, to discuss the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, and performance of specific employees pursuant to Section 2C1 of the Open Meetings Act, 5 ILCSC.
Call it?
Jenkins,
Yes.
Harden,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
McKinley,
Yes.
Pearl,
Yes.
motion carried.
We are now in session. City manager's report.
I've only got a couple of things. Glenn Isaacs began his wastewater certification course today. He's down at SIU in Carbondale. He takes a crash course. It's 3 days. Then he gets to challenge the test. And according to Calvin, it is a very tough test. A lot of guys don't make it the first time, but we wish Glenn well. Rick has told me that the warehouse is complete at the city electrical warehouse. The roof is completed. They'll start working on the inside very soon. Got a price today from a local painter to have that building spray painted. If you've been by there, it hasn't. Actually, I was the last one to spray painted it back in the 90s, and it's starting to show its wear. So Rick's going to see how that fits into his budget, so we may be getting that done. The electrical changeover on West Street's in its final phases. Mark was down there today doing some last-minute stuff, and late this afternoon they were supposed to start pulling the light poles. I don't know if they actually got that started or not. If they didn't get started on that today, then tomorrow the light poles will be coming down. I do know that they were taking down excess wire. Received an email from Casey's General Store from the corporation. They're in their final phase of the site plans. After the site plans have been completed, then they'll send them to the city so the city can have an overview of what's going on. I was told that those should be forthcoming within the next 2 to 3 weeks. Swimming pool is being filled. The water is filtering right now. Jill Moak, again, is our pool manager. She had a meeting the other day with some potential lifeguards, so we've got that started. Hopefully we'll get some warm weather and they can open on schedule. And then the last thing is we've received some complaints in City Hall about people ignoring the golf cart ordinance that you folks passed last fall, and that they're currently riding their golf carts on city streets. They haven't paid for permits or ignoring the fact that we do have an ordinance. So it's just a reminder, since we're being recorded, that everybody needs to know that the police department will enforce that ordinance on golf carts. So they need to come in and get the golf carts registered.
Neil.
Excuse me?
Neil.
Yes.
Say it. Don't hesitate.
How many cars we got registered? Any idea?
4.
4 all registered.
Any questions to the city manager and his report? Any non-agenda items or any other business?
Why do we have a bump on Main Street down by the old?
Excuse me?
Why do we have a bump on Main Street down by the old lumber company?
Well, last fall, it was late in the year, the ready-mix plants were getting ready to close. The Christmas parade was coming up, and they did 2 patches. So they hauled it in from Bloomington, and they did the one in front of MK Rentals here, the apartments. They did that one first, and it cooled down by the time they got up there, and so they haven't gone back up there and dug that back out and redone it. So it didn't work down as well as what they wanted.
So we're going to fix that.
That is going to get fixed, yes. And there was a presentation by a citizen here a little bit earlier about South Park. And let me bring you up to speed on South Park. The water main will be hooked up as soon as the guys get caught up on some of their other projects to get that water flowing out there. And we are working on some bathroom facilities out there. There again, I'm hoping that within the next 2 or 3 weeks I can bring some information to you. We can get rid of the porta potties for out there. The parking lot, the guys did go out. We did spend several $1,000s for some millings and had a parking lot built for the soccer field. So that just kind of answers some of her questions that she had for you earlier.
Do we own the potty houses out there?
No, we don't.
We're renting them, if we're donating regardless, can we get a handicap accessible one out there?
I
didn't know we have one out there.
Yes, and quite frankly, you know, if stuff like that doesn't get brought to our attention until after the fact, and
I haven't used them, I never paid attention to them.
right, right. We do go out and check them for cleanliness, so.
Any other items or other business?
One more on cleaning the ditch, the drainage ditch. They done with that with the slough? Remember we talked about that last fall, they get the resume on that?
We took a big step back away from that. Keep in mind that the school does have an agreement with DNR that they're supposed to keep it free of debris because of the engineering fees that we were going to have to pay just to get the permit. Before that, we were looking at, I'm going to tell you that it was 10,000 plus just for engineering. And so when I brought that to you guys, I don't know if you remember this now, but I had brought that to you and you just suggested kind of step back away from it for a little bit, so.
Well, wasn't it that we could have been fined for what we did?
They weren't real happy with us, that's correct.
I thought we could go in and clean it out and be done with it, but it's not that simple.
Any other items? Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Call it.
Jenkins,
Yes.
Harden,
Yes.
Hahn,
Yes.
McKinley,
Yes.
Pearl,
Yes.
motion carries.